Hello, welcome to Nyoka. I'm bringing you messages from Spirit for your highest and best self. This is a collective reading. Use your best judgment and discernment as with anything in life. I'm going to be honest, this looks like a love reading and it's pretty intense. So, this message is for someone who feels caught between two worlds. You know you have to free yourself from some energy that once felt enrapturing. I'm hearing it pulled you in closer and closer and closer. But once you got close enough, you saw it wasn't what you hoped. Now, I see a woman and a man here, feminine and masculine, and they have apparent differences. This could be racial, cultural, linguistic, whatever. And gender doesn't really matter here, but we have both of these energies represented. So I'm going to be referring to them as such. Now, in the past, there was some major decision that you were contending with, I'm getting. This is a decision that had to be made around this connection, of course, whether it was relocating or choosing this particular connection over another one, or deciding whether it was really worth the sacrifice of freedom to devote oneself to another. And this back and forth could have transpired over years. But now what I see is the feminine sweeping up the truth, bringing everything out under the light, discovering secrets. And this may not be the first time that lies have been exposed in this connection. Forgiveness may have been offered here once or twice in the past. The feminine may have discovered these truths subtly, slowly over time, collecting evidence, comparing receipts, tuning into intuition and trusting signs from spirit. So if this is you, there is a lesson here about emotional honesty. And I'm seeing feelings of remorse or shame for getting too close, allowing yourself to be bamboozled, even when you knew you weren't fully on board with this from the beginning. So I'm just hearing someone saying, like, if I had just kept saying no like I did the first time, I wouldn't have wasted this time. I wouldn't be feeling this punch to the gut. It's like you picked up on the fact that you wanted different things for yourselves, perhaps that your values didn't align. And I also feel like there were things this person wanted to force upon you, or they wanted like to manipulate you into consenting to. So you could have felt like you were constantly on the defense in this connection, but talking yourself out of dissenting for some reason, because something about them was just too alluring. Their looks, their voice, their aura was captivating you. So you were intrigued and you really wanted to believe in this connection. Some part of you deep within knew what was up, but another part of you really just wanted to believe in this. And so you almost fell for it, but you got away just in the nick of time. Because this masculine here is showing up as a tricky, tricky energy. This is the type of person that will lie to get what they want and feel no remorse, because to them it's survival. They are not above using underhanded tactics, lying, taking shortcuts, misrepresenting themselves, and they will turn on you at the drop of a dime, or the drop of a hat, whatever the saying is. This person does not take no for an answer. I'm sorry, like this person is conniving. They are conniving. This person is showing up here as very unsavory. I can see also that they were probably very eager and inquisitive, maybe wanting you to like divulge your deepest secrets to them, prying for information about you. And this is the type of person that will bring up that information every time you try to dissent, because they want to maintain that proximity, right? We're so close. I told you this, you told me that. And so They may have also used a tactic where they divulged in you something very powerful about their past, something very painful about their past. And that's something that they would refer to like, I told you this about me, and so you can't betray me. Like I'm showing you everything, but there's so much more that they haven't said. I hope you get what I'm trying to say. But this person's very seductive and coercive. So it was really very likely hard for you to get a good read on them because they feel kind of moldable, and it's probably in this person's best interest to be as nondescript as possible so that they can easily relate, quote unquote, quote, to whoever it is that they're interested in or that they want something from. So this is the type of person that like has an identity that can shift overnight. So for you, I feel like this has left you with unsettled feelings. Something feels unresolved. You just know that something always felt off, but you might feel like you'll never really get a full explanation. And this could stick with you for some time. This person's presence left a mark, an imprint on your psyche. It's as though you feel you'll never quite know what they wanted. What was their end goal? What was the whole point of this exchange? Also, I feel like you may have seen bits and pieces of yourself reflected back to you through this person. So you guys were mirroring certain energies. Not that I see you as being these, having these characteristics that I brought up about this person, but there were some things about you that were similar. Some part of your story that resonated. Some part of their story that resonated with you. Honestly, this could have been a true twin flame connection. And I don't really use that term because I have certain feelings about it, but going through this, working through this, it just presents as that. So you can look into that if it's something that you're interested in knowing more about, or if you even want to entertain that idea. But regardless, it can leave you thirsty for more information. I feel you have so many whys still. But Spirit is basically saying that their exact intentions don't matter. What matters is that you trusted your intuition and walked away. And that was the lesson. It's all about self-love, self-trust. And I can see now that your nervous system is calming down because you know that you won't have to deal with whatever hell this person was probably going to create in your life. And truly, I don't feel like they are inherently evil. I can't say that about anyone. But this may be the only way they learn to ask for love, or the only way they felt like they could get it. And it's possible that this person has lived this story before or was having similar interactions even with at least one other person at the same time as they were living this out with you. For a few people, I feel like that's likely the case. But at the end of the day, by this point, you are stepping back out into the unknown, which is never easy at first, but it's courageous. And eventually it will bring you something new. So you'll never have to return to that devil you once knew. And you've proved to yourself how strong you are. And I feel like you've done this very quietly. There's probably not that many people who know this full story. But also, even if they do, this person sees your power. They may have first mistaken you for someone delicate, naive, easy to manipulate, but now they have a whole different, transformed opinion of you. They see you from a completely different angle because you chose yourself. You chose to love yourself, knowing that you deserve so much more, and being brave enough to go get that. And you will patiently build your own happy world without having to betray yourself for anyone or anything ever again. And the oracle card that I pulled for you from the Urban Crow Oracle deck is number 46, which reduces to 10 or 1. Soar. Have the confidence to fly. Get up, open your wings, and feel the supportive wind carry you to your destination. There are no obstacles in your way. Now is the time to move. Conjure up your courage and take action. Soar brings a rush of energy and an open channel to receive the information needed to progress quickly with confidence toward your goal. It is in this space that blocks are removed and events flow beautifully as you sail on to success. Now, also on the bottom of the deck, we have number 10. So another 10, which is showing us that you've just completed this massive cycle, this chapter in your life. And this is a community. So when you pull community, think of it as a nudge to connect with a group that interests you. Not only will you find new opportunities there, you will become part of a group focused on a similar goal. Community may also indicate that you would benefit from examining your relationships within a group or a belief system. Are your goals and beliefs in alignment with the group's philosophy? Do you remain within a community because it is simply part of your history, but your involvement or participation is limited, and as a result, you feel disconnected? You may need to consider if the philosophy of a community that you no longer connect with is still impacting your decisions or your perception of events. And that puts a whole different spin on this message. So I'm going to leave you with that so you can think about how this story resonated. There is some perceived bias here as well, but I'm going to let you do what you want to do with it. Let me know in the comments if you would like to. Otherwise, I hope this has been helpful to you, and I hope to see you again in the next one. Take care.